What'd you get to hit there? What were you ready for? You were ready. And this team has just been continuing to find ways to win. What are you noticing from the club lately?
I think we've been battling every day. Obviously, they pitched good today. We pitched good today. They tied the game with a big swing late in the game. And, Jake with the big hit, and we could score to win this one. This is the team we are. This is the baseball we've been playing lately. Just one run at a time, and we will be fine.
This is the second time in 3 games that there's been a no-hitter going into the 8th inning. What can you say about the pitching staff?
Our pitching is great. These guys work really hard. Framber is amazing. He showed us tonight what he can do. He was just outstanding. And like I said, we came close to win the game in the night, but, they timed the game, we came back, and, just happy that this is a big game for us.
You've obviously, you're a part of this each and every day, but there's been some new faces. Ben Gamble with the home run today, Jason Hayward yesterday. What do you think of the new guys that have come in to help?
Obviously, Gamble has been playing really good for us last few games. And then Jason Hayward yesterday with the big hit. I think he was playing up the game. And he's going to bring a lot of good things to this ball club. We know he's been in the league long enough, and his leadership is going to play just good in this team. And we're really happy to have him here.
With Jose Altuve, the walk-off home run, it really is just incredible. The Astros able to get a really exciting win tonight.
Yeah, it really seems like this team is starting to find that niche that we've seen in the past where, early in the season it was, they weren't getting the base hits, but give themselves a shot late in the game. This team is going to come through. We've seen it time and time again, and it's good to see them do it again here in 2024.
Yes, and what a big pickup that was for Josh Hader. Big change of events, cruising the whole game with Framber, getting no hits. The guys come in, even Brian Abreu comes in, does his job, and then your heart just hits the floor on the 2-run homer by DeYoung, and then they just pick up their pitcher right there, give him that win, and just pick him up and keep his spirits high going into the clubhouse.
Yeah, Achilles heel for Josh Hader this year has been the long ball. He's been so great, especially in save opportunities. That was his 10th home run.
Let's take a look at that 9th inning. We'll of course show you Jose's incredible at bat, but we want to start out Jake Myers. So 1 out, bottom of the 9th. What was impressive to you about this at-bat, Josh?
Just a guy, MacArthur, a heavy slider thrower. Hopefully that's something that he recognized and got a pitch that, should have been probably a strikeout pitch, left it up a little bit, didn't try to do too much on it, stayed over the plate, really good at keeping his head over the plate and pushing that ball the other way. Don't have to hit it too hard as long as you place it right, and good things can happen as we saw tonight at the end of the game.
Yeah, you isolate the swing, and he was trying to go the other way. If he tries to pull it, it's a ground ball.
Yeah.
And that's the same pitch Jake Myers hit the other way that Jose Altuve just, scissored his leg out and leaned over and pulled that thing and does what he does best. Just comes up big in those big situations and just gives them the win.
For a guy that is so, the stature just isn't there. He doesn't have long arms. He's not a tall guy. It is amazing the plate coverage that he has, and his bat stays in the hitting zone so long. And listen, everyone says, you need to hit the ball up the middle. You need to hit the ball the opposite field. That's what we saw from Jake. But you know what? Jose Altuve has made a career out of hooking the ball.
And that's what you do. And that's what this ballpark's built for. You play to the ballpark you're in. If you got that short portion left, you might as well utilize it to the best of your ability. And credit Jose Altuve for padding his own stats and touching second base.
He looked like
a lot of guys can get caught up in that moment of celebrating and not wanting to give themselves that double, but that's a big step because you don't want to be stuck at 29 or that odd number and not get that round.
I have a story. Back in the day, Robin Ventura hit a walk-off grand slam and
never touched home.
So never touched home. The home run.
New York Mets, right? I remember that. Yeah.
You guys talked about this, that it was a similar pitch. Jake Myers, Jose Altuve, what did you see in that moment?
Well, it's just a situation that scouting report says that he's going to throw a slider. If he's going to throw a slider to a right-hander, it's going to be away. So what did you see? You saw both hitters kind of leak out there. Little different approaches with Jake trying to stay inside the ball and just serve the ball to right, and then Jose just doing what Jose does, which is just get the bat on the ball.
Yeah, I think that's just two guys that know their approach and know how to approach that at bat. Just Jake Myers being a little younger, not knowing, in the big situation, not trying to do too much and just get on base and flip that lineup over because you knew you had pinch hitters coming up and Big John Singleton, and then you turn over the lineup to Altuve, to Alvarez and to Yiner. So you got the best protection in the world once you flip that lineup right back over.
And you know what? The whole situation is if Jake Myers tries to do what Jose did, it's going to be a flyout.
Great point. Yeah.
Because he's Jose.
Yeah. All right. It was 7 innings of no-hit baseball, 98 pitches for Framber Valdez. What a night for him. He was brilliant. No hits, no runs, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts for La Grasa.
Absolutely outstanding. Got a little bit wild in the zone late when he fatigued, but he was on top of his game the whole night. It's truly remarkable to see a guy with this kind of stuff, this kind of poise, just continue to make the pitch. And what was the pitch? Well, guess what? It was the curveball. It's been the curveball the whole second half. He did have some pretty good swing and miss. It wasn't a big swing and miss night for Jose. I mean, you're talking about a guy that had 15 swing and misses, 9 on the curveball alone. But, you know, there just wasn't very many balls squared up. This was just one of those games that Framber was just dealing.
He was just being himself. And that's the thing about Framber. We go back to talking the pregame. You go east to west, left and right. You're not going to get too many barrels against a guy like Framber who can jump that ball left, jump that ball right, sink it when he needs to, and even sneak in a little bit of changeup right there to get some guys off their approach. And I'm not surprised. But what we saw from Framber tonight is just typical Framber Valdez night on the mound, and you know, hopefully he can continue that for the rest of the year.
I love the fact that he used 3 pitches for the most part. He used his curveball, he used his sinking fastball, and his changeup. Changeup was good. He had 5 swing and misses on the changeup, through 19 of them. So that's the pitch that's going to get the right-handers off of the 2. You start looking for 2.
Those
by the way,
pitches, you mean?
He's still got another one.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm having guilt about something. I did steal my comment at the beginning of the show. Simone Biles, the night starts with the GOAT, ends with the GOAT. Jose Altuve, that was from Hill713 on Twitter. So I want to give a shout out to him. Oh. Nice little connection.
Well done, citing your source.
Yeah, I know. It's like a true journalist.
Absolutely. Nice play on both ends. And we know that Jeremy Pena is a tremendous athlete. The jump throw is not something you see very often.
And it's one of those things, it's not like it looks easy, but it has to be even harder than it looks.
Oh, man, that's something that everybody practices in batting practice. It feels like whether you're infielder, outfielder, pitcher, that's something that everybody just wants to be able to do. And you don't really succeed a whole lot. To be able to put it into play and into perspective during the game, because everything speeds up. You got to worry about how fast your runner is, the quick release, getting the transfer. A lot of things come into play right there, and that's not a very easy play to make.
Yeah, there's 2 things there. It's arm strength, because you're running absolutely away from your target. Arm strength and footwork, because you got to have your feet exactly right so you can jump in the air and throw at the same time.
I love that. All right, well, you saw Framber's face. He was very happy with it. Let's go to the clubhouse and hear from Framber Valdez.
Did that feel like an overall complete performance for you? Kind of one of those where you just had everything working?
¿Se sintió como una salida completa para ti, esa que tenía todos los pichos trabajando?
Una salida buena, 7 innings, 0 carreras, 0 hits. Yo siento que fue solamente 7 innings normal y se ganó el equipo ganó el juego.
Yeah, I thought it was a normal outing, 7 innings, no runs, no hits. I thought it was a good normal outing, and, the team won the game. It's the most important thing.
Did you feel like from the first couple innings you had no hit stuff tonight?
¿Te sentías los primeros varios innings que tenía calidad de tirar no-hitter?
Yo siempre tengo que, después del sexto, que yo calculo que es un no-hitter. Nunca calculo del primero, ni el segundo, ni el tercero. Después del sexto inning para el séptimo, tú calculas ya es un no-hitter, porque ya te faltan 2 innings más y tú puedes asegurarlo. Pero solamente del sexto fue yo dije, ok, ahí tengo no-hitter.
No, I think it's after the 6th inning that I started thinking about the no-hitter. After the 6th inning going to the 7th, because you only have 2-3 more innings left, that's when I started thinking about it. But before that, not really.
I know you've thrown a lot of pitches, but were you at all disappointed to leave with the no-hitter intact?
Tiraste mucho picheo, pero te sentiste decepcionado tener que salir del juego con el no-hitter.
En verdad no fue mi opción salir, por eso están los relevos, por eso están los jugadores para completarlo, y simplemente terminé mi salida ahí, tiré un juego para el equipo, ponerlo ahí como ganamos hoy, un buen juego, y simplemente hacer lo que hay que hacer.
No, it was my option there to come out of the game there. Obviously, we have other pitchers, we have relievers, other players, and it was my option to come out of the game there and, to try to put the team in a position to win the game, and hopefully we did.
So you said you wanted to come out, or how did that conversation go with Joe and Josh in the clubhouse?
¿Cómo fue esa conversación con Joe y Josh? ¿Tú dijiste que tú querías salir del juego o cómo fue eso?
No, él consideró como manager que estaba bien, ¿sabes? Yo no soy que mando, el que sabe, darle, terminate, buen juego y seguir. Lo importante fue que ganar el juego y así lo hicimos.
No, it's your as a manager that, made a decision like, hey, you're done there, and, I agree. So, most important thing was that we won the game.
Ahí en esa entrada se vio claramente que el bateador pasó el bate. Si te da con esto un doble y Baez dijo que no, que había sido bola, se vio que te molestaste. ¿Y qué te dijeron los muchachos que, o sea, para volver a, digamos, a meterte en el partido?
No, son reacciones que uno hace por instinto del juego, la adrenalina, uno se brinca o vocea o dice algo, pero son cosas del juego, del béisbol, cosas que pasan normal cada día. O sea, solamente tirar strike, tratar de poder que pase completo el bate y nada. Todo salió bien, al final sacamos el out y al final pudimos ganar el juego de hoy.
Yeah, those are just things that happen instinctually, just in the adrenaline in the middle of the game. Sometimes you jump, you shout, and things like that. My thing was just go back, continue throwing strikes, and definitely we were able to get out of it, get the nice out, and, continue to keep the game there.
Hey guys, we can wrap up now. Okay, well, 2 days later.
Gracias. Yeah, that's a team player, guys. Willing to do whatever it takes to get the win and then fine coming out of the game.
Yeah, I think that's a player that really has an idea of situational awareness because, he wasn't great in the 7th inning. He kind of got by, he backdoor curveball for the strikeout there to get out of the 7th. But I think at that point, 98 pitches, you're at the very, your last start in August. You got big games coming up in September. I think it's a great call for him pulling himself.
Yeah, it's definitely a sign of maturity out of Frommer. And I think that plays into knowing what he has back there in that bullpen in Brian Abreu, Ryan Presley, and Josh Hader. Obviously, it didn't work out for Hader tonight, but having the confidence in the guys behind you in the back end of that bullpen to be able to give you that, especially when you're throwing a no-hitter. Everybody wants a no-hitter. Even if you've already got one, you want to throw another one and then another one and then another one. So for him to have the maturity to be like, hey, look, hand it off to these guys, let them finish this game, and we can all go home happy.
I think it really just shows how fatigued he really was.
Probably,
because, like you said, everybody wants a no-hitter just like you want 4 hits or whatever. For him to come out with 98 pitches, I think that just shows that he was done.
The guy you want. He's the guy you want in that spot. Big hit by Jake. And then let's just try to get Altuve at the plate. And he always find a way to wow us. And that's another big swing by Jose Altuve.
What about what Valdez did for you guys?
Oh, what he's been doing the whole entire, almost the whole entire year, second half, right? So good. That curveball, the sinker, kept that all-righty lineup off balance. Like, his stuff is so good. Efficient, composed, going after hitters, getting big outs, got his ground balls when he needs to. He's just really, really good.
You had to do it a couple times this year. Is it tough to take out someone with a no-hitter intact?
Yes, it is. Because you want those guys to accomplish those, right? Those are personal goals, but me as a manager, I'm thinking more about the team, right? And I'm thinking about where he's at when he comes off the mound, how he looks, how that last inning, how he looked, conversation with him, what do you think? And you got to gauge based on what you see and what you hear from him. So we have a really good bullpen. So that makes my decision a little bit easier when you got guys in the back end there that you can rely on, and they're really good.
After the 7th inning, what was that conversation like? Did Frommer lead you to go back in the game?
No, it's just a conversation. I like to do it down there in the tunnel so you guys don't read lips, No, but a conversation. I just want to know how he feels. I know what I see, and Josh sees something, and we just want to make sure that we do what's best for the team. And Framber in the 7th, he just worked really hard, just try to get out of that 7th inning, and we decided just to go give the ball to our back end.
Hitters have been so good this week.
Lights out.
What did you see from him on the home run pitch? Was that just a
what was that, 29 in a row? Hey, it's 29 in a row. Sometimes you're just gonna, human, right? He's been outstanding.
Understanding that he made a fantastic defensive play earlier in the game. Jeremy on the ground ball at night. That's, I think, 6 errors in his past 12 games. Are you seeing anything consistent the past couple weeks or so with his defense, and do you think he could maybe benefit from a breather or a blow?
No, you know what? I don't think it's fatigue. I think it's just Well, first of all, if there's someone that I want a ground ball to go to in any inning, is Jeremy Pena. There's a reason why he's a Gold Glove shortstop. There's a reason why he's a shortstop for this team, and he will be for many, many years, because he's really reliable, solid shortstop. And you go through stretches where stuff happens. So tomorrow, he's going to be playing shortstop for the Houston Astros because he is one of the best in the game. Stuff happens, We just got to turn the page, and, I pat him on the butt. Let's go. Get him tomorrow. He's fine.
You trying to stay away from Presley for 2 straight games?
Yeah. Just got back from, I got out of the IL, so we wanted to stay away from him. So